She waited for him. A timeless love story. This is a love story that has been passed down for generations. A story of a girl who waited for her love under the old oak tree for 100 years. It all started on a stormy night when the wind howled like a hungry wolf and the rain poured down in torrents. People rushed home to their families, seeking shelter from the raging elements. But one young man named Elias found himself further away from home than he had ever been before. Lost and soaked to the bone, he stumbled upon a small bookshop nestled between two large oak trees. The sight of the glowing lamp in the window gave him hope that he might find shelter there. And as he pushed open the door, he was met with the sweet smell of old books and the sound of soft classical music. Behind the counter stood a young woman with long, flowing hair and kind eyes. She looked up from her book as he entered, and a smile immediately spread across her face. "Welcome," she said warmly. Come in. Come in. You look like you could use some shelter from the storm." He thanked her and stepped closer to the counter, revealing a small pendant he wore around his neck, a pendant in the shape of an oak leaf. She noticed it, and her eyes widened in surprise. "You have an oak leaf pendant," she said softly. Then he noticed the two large oak trees outside, and realized that they were the ones that had guided him here. It was no coincidence that he had found this place. He told her about his journey and how he had gotten lost in the forest. She listened patiently, her eyes never leaving his, and when he finished, she offered him a warm towel to dry himself and a cup of hot tea to warm his hands. They talked for hours that night, and by the time the storm had passed and the sun began to rise, he felt as though he had known her forever. Her name was Leela, and she lived above the bookshop with her grandmother. She had a gentle soul and a passion for reading, and he felt an instant connection with her. When it was time for him to leave, he thanked her for her kindness and told her that he would never forget her. She watched him go, her heart pounding in her chest. For the first time in her life, she understood what it meant to love someone. But as the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, he never returned. She missed him every day, and the thought of him being out there somewhere without her was unbearable. One day, while sorting through some old books in the attic, she came across a leather-bound journal. As she opened it, she found a faded picture of the two of them standing in front of the oak trees. On the first page, she read the date of their first meeting, April 1837, and as she turned through the pages, she saw that he had written about her every day since then. In his journal, she learned that he had traveled the world and accomplished great things, but that he had never stopped thinking of her. Every night before he went to sleep, he would take out his oak leaf pendant and pray that she would love him as much as he loved her. He had kept her memory alive in his heart for 54 years, and in that time, his love for her had only grown stronger. When she finished reading his journal, she knew that she had to see him one last time. She took the journal with her and went to the old oak tree where they had first met. She climbed the tree and made a small hole in the trunk. She placed the journal inside and then climbed down. She knew that if he was still alive, he would come to this tree every year on April to pay his respects to her. And when he found the journal, he would know that she was here with him in spirit. And so she waited. She waited for him under the old oak tree for 100 years, knowing that he would come for her. Because their love story wasn't just about the time they had spent together. It was about the time they had left behind and the eternity they had yet to spend together. If you enjoyed this timeless love story, please share it with your friends and family, and let us know what you think in the comments below. We would love to hear what you have to say.